We're back here again with Matt, and since, you know, we don't know a whole lot about anime, and, you know, our audience, you guys might want to know a little bit more, so Matt has decided to tell us about anime, because apparently there's all kinds of different genres, and I don't know anything, so Matt, tell us all about it.
Certainly. To break down anime, there's 10 basic genres. So you'll have ones called slice of life, which is just about everyday life about a character. You have mechas, which is about the guys with the huge robots. You have romance, which is dedicated purely to that. You have tsundere comedies, where the character just has crazy, ridiculous things happen to them constantly that are like completely out of there's high amount of like, you know, sexual jokes and
that's gotta be exhausting to watch. You're like, oh my gosh,
you're like,
can
this guy just
next?
not die again? Just have to stop that. On top of that, then of course you have your superheroes, you know, like your Super Saiyan Naruto's, the guys who can like destroy the world. It really felt like it, but they'll hold off this week, you know. And then you have from those main 5, then you have splits like a mecha romance, tsundere romance. Like you just have to go through all those. But each one splits up that way, and so when you watch an anime, one episode, you can really decipher what it's going to be for the rest of the time, because the Japanese animation loves to use block characters.
What's a block character?
So a block character is one who kind of fits a mold. You can have the shy girl who talks in a very monotonous tone. Those are in almost any anime. You can pick one out, watch it, you'll be like, that's what that character is. The tsundere is the person who always has things happen to them. Like, you know, they get run over by a car, or, you know, they were like in this awkward situation where they're like, I have a girlfriend, and then he goes into a closet and actually walks into this other girl, and right as that happens, his girlfriend opens the door and sees it happen, and
I think that would be my favorite kind of anime. That sounds awesome.
So, you know, that happens. You have the dark hero, you know, he's off to the side. Nobody wants to really know him. And so over time, you kind of just build up this repertoire of knowing what these block characters, but each one is kind of unique in its own way.
Yeah, has its own story kind of a thing, but you just know what to expect because you know what kind of characters. Yeah, it's pretty consistent throughout each of the.
Yes, you kind of pick it out. Like in Attack on Titan, which is huge now. I mean, it was so popular that it made it onto Netflix 3 months after it was produced in English. I mean, right there, Netflix snatched it up. So that's obviously a huge thing.
Yeah.
So once that happened, you kind of have this one girl. She's known as the Potato Girl. She has her different name, but she's all about, you know, food. And specifically potatoes.
I love her already.
Loves potatoes.
I'm a girl and I love potatoes, everybody. That could be me.
But that's kind of like the running joke. Is like people always mention potatoes or things like that around her because it's funny.
That's
so like, you know, and that's kind of the running joke. She's not a main character, but she's part of the main group, and so like that's the funny joke with her. You know, and you know, while the main character's off battling things, like she's kind of comedic relief, however.
Oh, see, I like those kinds. Because I watch Korean dramas, and there's always comedy relief, because it's usually always like the poor girl who, you know, doesn't have it as well in life, and then it's always like the rich dude who is like the son of a huge conglomerate, and then you have like the comedy relief who's her friend who is like all crazy drama style. So I totally get that.
I see.
Yeah, I've got you.
Yes. So, you know, that is kind of like, you know, you find these block characters, and that's kind of where you kind of get some familiarity with anime. You know, of course, each story gets unique, and each time it's more fun, but, you know, you have that kind of sense of like, okay, I'm a little comfortable, that's who that is, that's who that is, that's who that is. Okay. And so, you know, kind of like in any comedy you see like on NBC, that's the funny guy, this is the guy that has the awkward situation happening, that's Chandler, you know, because Chandler's his own character. You know, you know, once you have that down, Japanese anime is kind of just fun. And
once you understand where the characters are and what their jobs are.
But then translate that to now, all the cosplayers here, they take on those same characters here. So you'll go out and you see somebody like getting in awkward situations. That's your tsundere. They just learn to do that.
She just learns to be the shy, quiet girl in the corner.
Well, she can be, or the one who loves to have awkward situations.
That's right.
That's it. You know, like they just go out there. And so, you know, that's the unique thing about anime conventions, that they turn themselves into the block characters.
You can actually pick out, like if you were to walk through the hall, like could you pick out the block characters and be like, oh, that's who you would be. And
Yes.
that's kind of cool. So if one were to want to start watching animes, like which genre would you suggest? Or is there like, I mean, where do you go? Like, what do you do? Because I mean, I have no idea.
See, the cool part was I never watched anime my entire life until I was in grad school because I had to watch something I normally wouldn't. So I watched an anime called Robotech, which is a mecha based in space. The cool thing was that the English dub version had the announcer from the Super Friends in it. So it was like, meanwhile in
Oh my
space.
God.
And you're like, ah!
You're like, I get it.
But after watching it, I was like, this is really unique because they built a drama, they built a story. There was 87 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
I watched the whole thing, and from there I was just hooked. And it's kind of like you need to watch one that really kind of...
You just need to get in and try it.
You gotta watch it one
Okay,
time.
I get that. Because when I watch Korean dramas, like I watched one episode, I'm like, Mom, this is the lamest thing I've ever seen. But once you just sit and just get through the first like 10 episodes, you're good.
You just can't stop.
No.
And so, like much like, how on Netflix you get that one show, like, and you're like, I can't stop watching.
Yes.
Darn you, 15 seconds. Like you get done 15 seconds, then you're like, oh, here comes the next one. That's kind of what anime does to you.
I understand. So what is your favorite genre, just as of curiosity?
My favorite genre, in all truth, is
It's romance, isn't it?
It's actually it's romance mechas. They have the most interesting storylines.
Really?
Because these guys, specifically, there's this series that's been going on forever called the Gundam series.
I've heard of that.
And the Gundam series actually, so they have a season. They have a new guy and a bad guy, and then the old new guy turns into the bad guy, and they build seasons off of that constantly.
But then that's your favorite one?
Yeah, because it's just so much intrigue and things like that. It's also one that gets you highly involved. Like one of my characters' girlfriends got killed off by the bad guy, and I nearly started throwing things at the TV. I was just so upset.
I understand that. I totally understand that. I have a tip for you.
Yes.
Get some little crochet balls.
Okay.
Throw them at the TV.
See?
It works.
So much better.
It's too bad you don't have any crocheted mushrooms. You could give him some.
That could be a thing.
So, like I said, it kind of, it's hard to explain, but once you watch it, you'll know.
I actually understand. I totally understand. But no, it's good because I did not know there were so many different facets to anime. I mean, it's a big deal.
Oh yes.
So
it's a huge industry.
Yeah, clearly.
It's $1 billion industry here in the United States, not just in Japan. If Japan went away, they made the stuff but never watched it, no money went to them. It's still $1 billion industry here in the United States.
That's unbelievable. Well, thank you so much. It clears up a lot. I appreciate
No problem,
that.
guys. And I hope you have a great time.
Thank you.